During this weekly fragrance rotation, we are still having on and off weather, so I'm still pulling out some darker fragrances mixed in with some freshies, so stay tuned. Hey, what's going on? Hunter here and welcome back to my channel. And if you are new, what I do is I make fragrance related content. So if you love fragrances, hit that subscribe button down below and also be sure to follow my Instagram page. But that's right, bringing you another weekly fragrance rotation. If this is your first time coming across this series, what I do is I tell you each fragrance I wear on each day, how many sprays, the kind of weather, and if that fragrance got any compliments or not. So let's get right into Sunday. So Sunday was in the mid 50s, sort of a cloudy day, but on that day, I pretty much went to church, relaxed for the evening, and didn't really do much, but I wanted to pull out a very cozy kind of resinous fragrance. So I pulled out Jo Malone's Myrrh and Tonka. Now, honestly, this is one of the best myrrh-based fragrances in my entire collection and that I've ever smelled. Myrrh kind of comes across like this sweet, slightly smoky resin, and I absolutely love how it's done in this creation, and it's by far one of my favorites from Jo Malone. On that day though, I did do 8 sprays of Myrrh and Tonka. Didn't get any compliments, but I think it was the perfect fragrance to wear like to church. It definitely does have this kind of holy, spiritual vibe about it, obviously being myrrh. It's all in all one of my favorite resinous fragrances, so that's what I chose to wear for Sunday. All right, so on Monday, I'm pretty much at work for the majority of the day. It was in the high 40s, another cloudy day as well. And I put out one of my favorite clones of Yves Saint Laurent's Tuxedo, and that is Alexandria Fragrance's Black Tie Affair. Now, they honestly get this absolutely spot on with even better performance than the original Tuxedo when I compared the two side by side. If you're a fan of patchouli dominant fragrances, you absolutely have to check this one out. Especially if you're in the market for Tuxedo and don't want to spend $300 on that bottle. This is highly worth it. For under $100, you could get a bottle of Black Tie Affair, and you're pretty much getting the scent profile with even better performance. Now, on that day to work, I did do 8 sprays of this, got no compliments, but man, I absolutely enjoy this one so much, and it is one of my favorites from Alexandria Fragrances. All right, so on Tuesday, it was also in the mid 50s, cloudy day, and I was at work for most of the day as well. So I pulled out one of my first loves when it comes to niche fragrances, which happens to be Parfums de Marly's Layton. There's just something so special about this one. It has a nice spicy vanilla with this fruity apple touch as well. And how I describe it, it does sort of smell like apple pie to me. A lot of people might not agree with that, but to my nose, I definitely get that apple pie vibe. Slightly gourmand, not too much though. It's absolutely one of my favorites from the house of Parfums de Marly for a very, very good reason. Now, on that day though, I did also do 8 sprays. That's pretty much been my go-to as of recently. No compliments with Layton, even though this one is a huge compliment getter. It has this kind of a sensual, alluring vibe about it, but that's what I chose to wear to work on Tuesday. All right, on Wednesday, it was warming up in like the mid 50s, even though it was snowing on that day. And I put out a brand new fragrance from a skincare brand for men, which is Particle, and that fragrance is Gravite. Now, honestly, they did a very good take on that blue style genre of men's fragrances. You definitely get this juicy grapefruit in the top. It does dry down to a nice like white musk, nice white clean musk, and the performance was very, very solid. Easily lasts me around 10 or so hours on my skin, so no complaints whatsoever. This one is definitely one I would recommend checking out. If you don't want to go with your typical like Sauvage, Bleu de Chanel, and you don't really want to spend that money, this is a very, very solid fragrance that a lot more people should be getting their nose on. No complaints whatsoever with the scent profile of this. On that day, I actually did do 10 sprays, so a little bit heavier to get a nice full wearing out of this. And since it's so crowd pleasing, you can definitely overspray this one easily without getting any complaints from anybody around you. I didn't get any comments, however, I did enjoy wearing this one for the day. I just knew I smelled good and clean. So yeah, that's what I chose to wear for Wednesday is Gravite. So for Thursday, I was also at work for most of the day. It was the warmest day of the week, being in the mid 60s, still cloudy though, and nothing really sunny or anything like that. But I did actually wear probably one of my favorite freshies, if not my favorite freshie in my entire collection. That is Roche Parfums Elysium Parfum Cologne. This is so luxurious, so complex when it comes to a nice blue fresh style fragrance. You get one of the best juicy grapefruit openings with this nice salty ambergris, which I think, in my opinion, Rosa does the absolute best. There's something so magical about this fragrance. Now, on that day to work, I did do 10 sprays of Elysium, and I'm not sure why people say this does not have good performance. I get phenomenal performance from my bottle, at least no complaints at all. Easily lasts the entire day on me, and it's always transitioning on your skin from the top, the mid, and the base. It's pretty much 3 fragrances in one is how I explain it. It is that complex. No comments, however, on that day, but in the past, when I wear this one, people go crazy about Elysium. So if you are looking for a luxurious freshie and you don't care about the price, this is one I would highly recommend. On Friday, I was also at work. Unfortunately, usually I don't work on Fridays, but I did on that day. And it was very cold in like the high 30s, still cloudy though. And I was just in the mood for an oud-based fragrance. I haven't really been wearing a lot of ouds lately like I used to. I used to be obsessed with that note, but lately I've been enjoying more freshies and clean style fragrances. But I was in the mood that day, so I put out one of my favorites, and that is Acqua di Parma's Oud. Now, on that day, I did do 10 sprays of this one as well. No compliments, but if you're looking for a very kind of unique, different oud style fragrance that isn't your typical rose oud combination, this is one you absolutely want to check out. It has this nice bright orange, which does dry down to a slightly dirty, natural smelling oud, which I think they did perfectly. Yeah, this stuff is truly, absolutely incredible. And the performance is very good. I know Acqua di Parma gets a ton of hate for the lackluster performance because most of them are eau de colognes. This one, however, is an eau de parfum. And don't get this one mistaken with the prior that was in like the brown bottle. That was actually an eau de cologne. They pretty much took that same scent profile and just amped up the concentration and put natural oud in this variation. So absolutely stunning oud-based fragrance. Wrapping the week off on Saturday, it was in the mid 40s. It was actually a nice sunny bright day though, which was enjoyable. And on that day, I pretty much went out shopping and stuff, and the fragrance I chose to wear was zaharoff Nexos. Absolutely a masterpiece in my honest opinion, and by far my favorite from zaharoff that I've got my nose on, and I have tried quite a few of them. This is a very nice fougere. I guess you could call it a fougere because it does have a burst of lavender mixed in with some dark qualities from tobacco and honey. However, it does open with a nice bright citrus, but that does not last long at all. This is not a summer fragrance in my opinion. I have heard a lot of people say wear this one in the summer. I think it's definitely more targeted for like the fall, spring, and winter in my opinion. But yeah, if you love honey, you love tobacco, you love lavender, this is a must for anybody that loves that genre of perfumery. On that day, I did do 10 sprays. Like I said, it was sunny. I was pretty much out shopping. Of course, I had to go to the Louis store again, pretty much like a weekly basis. I cannot complete my week without stopping in there. I did pick up a fragrance that you guys will see in the next weekly fragrance rotation because I didn't put out this week. So stay tuned and find out what other Louis I bought on that day. So that's what I chose to wear to wrap off the week on Saturday is Nexos. So I hope you guys did enjoy this weekly fragrance rotation. Of course, as usual, let me know what you guys have been pulling out, wearing, etc. I love communicating with you guys and seeing what you guys are rocking. So leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you guys haven't already. And I'll see all of you back here in my next video. So take care, everybody.